Today I'm not saying nothing. Oh. Oh, one. Okay. Come back in there. Oh, balaba. Ah, there you were. There you were. YouTube eganye. YouTube eganye. Can't see the cow see there. I see you. Hi, hi. How y'all doing? Mm-hmm. Say what? Share some of these comments. Hello. Mulikula bakapira. Obakawede. Am I encroaching on your soccer time? Muliwa? What's up, my people? How you doing? You know the drill. You know the drill. Anya Pulida, Anya Tampulida. Sambia Mwechintu. Today, I want to try and do something impossible, and that is keep it short. That is actually impossible. That is actually impossible. I don't know how to keep it short. Woo, child. You know the drill. Muliruda wa ewa tufu. Come on. Tell us. Where are you at? I don't know why my video is shaky today. Just a second. Wait. I'm about to mess everything up right now. Just a sec. Because I feel like... Okay. That's better. We good? No more shakes. No more shakes. Hi. How y'all doing? Big shout out to everybody watching from where they're watching from. Balaba, sending where you watching us live from. Muliwa, Ewatufu. Tell me where you are. Morocco. You're in Morocco? Oh, wow. You know what's so funny about the Morocco thing? I've been seeing the debate on social media about how Africans claim Morocco and Morocco ain't claiming Africa. They believe they're Arab, but hey, I will not say much. Not like it's weird. Africa is out here, claiming Morocco. Like, yes, Morocco, but are they claiming us? Do they feel African? Are they African? Actually, geographically speaking, is Morocco in Africa, or they feel they're just passing through? Like someone explain that to me. Are they passing through? Are they on the continent? Are they for the continent? Are they with the continent? Or do they believe they're Arab? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You are out here screaming, Morocco. I'm like, yeah. But are they claiming you though? Hey, Jesus is the Lord and Savior. But for all of y'all watching soccer, enjoy. I don't want to say Morocco has a right to be Arab. Yes, they are in Africa. I know that. But they don't consider themselves African. They consider themselves Arab. Oh, they're black Arabs. Just like we have black Jews. And when you hear them saying all this stuff, someone has said that when you hear them talking about their win, they're like, this is for Arab. This is for... It's nothing else. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger at the end of the day. So how you been doing? I got a couple of things. Oh yeah, today... In our segment of bonnets and blankets, I want to ask, there's like some things that don't make sense to me, but they're so human, and I wish I could put, like, I just want to understand them. So the other day, me and my husband are going to, we're down at the store, right? Basic stuff. I told you this because as an example that I'm because I young. So we're down at the store, right? And then we bump into one of his ex-wife's relatives, like distant relative. So she don't know me from a can of paint. I don't know her from a can of paint, but rumors around like, oh yeah, your wife is here, blah blah blah, you got married and all of that. So other than her, like doing, the polite, there's that polite African thing we do. Like, you can hate on the low, but don't really hate out on the open. Like, don't be aggressive with your hate. So she goes like, oh, hi, we had you around. I'm like, okay, hi. And then she goes on. She goes on to throw some unnecessary commentary. She goes like, oh my goodness, by the way, we are like distant cousins. I'm his ex-wife's cousin. I'm like, uh-huh, nice. She's like, I actually didn't even know that we were cousins until I got here. I'm like, okay, so what is this information for? And like, what am I supposed to use it for? So she was coming hard with the conversations. Now, Petty Betty on the inside was about to tell her, hey, Trick, I do not know you from a can of paint. I don't think I'm ever going to see you after this, walk in this supermarket. So why are you trying to give me so much info? And it hit me. The mpalanirako that our friends have when we break up or we get divorced or we walk our separate ways as couples is just so epic. It humbles. It humbles. I don't have that. Maybe I'm different. I honestly feel like maybe I am different, but there's a way people act around certain situations, especially when it has to do with an ex that you knew was dating somebody you knew, or a friend or a cousin or a relative. Why y'all go so hard? It's no, to be honest, I really don't get it. Let me take these off because they're giving you guys a glare. Like, that is just humbles. And it begs the question again for my African folk, right? You see, white people will get divorced and they will move on with life. And, they'll be cordial at functions, even if you meet your ex, spouse at a function. You'll be nice, you'll be courteous, you'll be cordial, you'll be like, oh, hi. Even if you meet the next, you keep it strictly cordial, not as black people. Oh, child. Ooh. We do not know how to keep it cordial. We just want to be like, and this, we get too cocky with it too. And it bothers many. But for me, I wouldn't be bothered. Like, everybody has an ex at some point. Everybody has an ex-spouse or an ex-relationship or an ex-friend or something. It's just how life is. So when you go so hard, I want to remind you something. Perfect relationships do not end up in a divorce. Perfect relationships do not end up in a divorce. People who love each other do not end up separated. They will stay together. They will fix it. So for you to go gung-ho on something that's done, I'm like, wow, you're different. It just, I just want to talk about it. It's just I'm noticing it with our African people. With the white people, they keep it cordial, regardless of whatever anger they have or whatever stuff they have. They will stifle that issue. They will breathe it in. They will not let you have the satisfaction of knowing they are bothered. They will just keep it moving. Not our black people. Woo, child. They cannot. They they cannot. I looked at this woman giving me her life story in an epic 3 minutes, and I'm like, damn, girl, you triggered. I don't even know you, but okay. Mess up your day on my behalf. I'm good with you. But hey, that's besides the point. Another thing that I want, another thing, yatambula nagenda bibye nange nentambula nengenda byange, and we shall maybe not see her for another 5 years, who knows. But she had to throw in her 5 cents. I was like, proud of you, girl. You did something. If she was around, she'd be proud of you. Man, there's some stuff we need to get over with. Ooh. Oh, okay. I had forgotten to give you guys sound on YouTube, but you were comfortable with that. I got issues with all of you on YouTube. But anyway, besides that, there's another thing I also like. Every day I'm in this diaspora, I'm trying to learn as much as I can, right? And bwetubeereka ng'oli Uganda n'owulira abantu abali mu diaspora, you have this thought that people get along so well. People have the same people have the same drive, the same everything. Like, you feel like everything is okay, right? Until you come to the diaspora and it hits you that way, things are different. omuntu gwokyasiinza okutya mu diaspora aba Uganda muno. I was like, wait, what? How? Because, and this is one thing I have noticed, I'm going to speak on East Africans because I have witnessed how East Africans are acting up in this place. When you go to the Chinese, like the Asian community is like tight-knit. Whether they know you or don't know you, they're going to be for you. When you go to the Mexican community, oh God, you just have to speak 3 words in Spanish and they're like, familia, come here, we got you, we're gonna help you. When you go to West Africans, as much as they are also backstabbing on each other, but they still have a certain togetherness. And it depends on the West African country. If it is Nigeria, it depends. The Yorubas will be with the Yorubas and they'll stick with them. You know, something like that. Different clans will be, but they will be a tight-knit, you know, unit. And they will try to help each other. That's what bugs me. They will really try to help each other genuinely. Then you come to our East African brothers and sisters. Now, I ain't saying this to start up any drama. I'm just giving my observation, right? I don't know what's up with us East Africans, but we have this thing of, we have this fake hate smile. You know, like when you bump into a fellow East African, like, oh my God, hi. And you're so excited, you're so happy for these people and everything, right? But as soon as they walk away, the smile fades away. Now, let me tell you what I'm talking about. East Africans have this thing of like, when we're in the same space, we're going to love on each other. Oh, if we're in the same space, mwana wa mama, mganda wange, chiganda change, you know, there's that camaraderie. Soon as you walk 5 paces, you're the conversation at the table, right? And then that's expected. It can happen in any room. It can happen with any people. But then again, what confuses me most, and this is something we talked about, there is a very unhealthy competition amongst us. Now, competition is good. I get it. But there's a weird unhealthy competition that goes on amongst us East Africans. I've seen it with Kenyans, I've seen it with my Ugandan folk, I've seen it with my Tanzanian folk, I've seen it in a few Rwandese people too. When I'm talking East Africa, I'm talking East Africa, right? There's that unhealthy competition whereby they will throw a party, right? They'll throw a party. They're like, okay, Ugandan community, show up, show face and everything. And everybody's pumped. They're excited. They're going to meet fellow people because it's lonely up in this diaspora. Ain't no lie. It is very lonely in this diaspora. Then you'll show up for the party. But when you show up for the party, people are not there just for the party and to get along. No, everybody is sussing out the other like, ooh, what he got? His wife was with who? They broke up. His kid did what? Ain't in school. It's like, there's that weird, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if any of you understand what I'm saying, or maybe I just sound like I'm biased, but this is no bias. I have seen it, and I'm always seated back like, wow. The people you call your own, wow. And then there's that thing of like, gundi yaguze motoke eno, nze ngenda gula, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows about it. But then when we're in the same room, we're going to make it look like nobody's competing with the other. I'm like, wait. So-and-so's wife is doing what? Mine is going to do this. I'm like, because this is a big country. You know what baffles me the most? We all left home for greener pastures. Ain't no doubt about that, because if home was such a bomb, we would not be here. We would have stayed in our countries and, you know, enjoyed where it is that we come from. So we all left home to seek greener pastures, you know, to have a chance at life, right? And we made it to a country that is so big. This country is so big. For all of y'all who don't understand it, this country is so big that you can go months without seeing someone who lives just a town across. It's so big, everybody is busy, everything is moving so fast. There's so much going on that it bugs me and baffles me and flabbergates that someone can have the time to sit back and just be obsessed with what the other person did with their life, or how the other person is messing up their life, or how this person is getting money a certain type of way. You see, if we do this, Uganda is a shoebox. But there's that weird there's that weird, thick, unhealthy competition in this country. You'll be looking at people and you're like, yo, we're all here just to try and figure it out. We're all here just trying to have a chance at life. No? Lwaki munakumenya? We had a conversation with another friend. We're like, in these communities, as people in the diaspora, right? In these communities, you might open up a business and say, banange, mfumbe mmere ya Uganda, muje support me. They'll support you for the first month. But it won't be with the same tenacity they will use to go to an Applebee's or go to McDonald's or go to a white people restaurant. Because at some point, they feel like every time they're supporting you to make money. The people who I know who have made it here in businesses, some of their businesses are not solely best here. They are solely best back home because the people back home are going to want to support you. But open up something here thinking it is just going to be for your countrymen. Jacobieri at a point. I know most people don't want to talk about this, especially here. Now, I see people show up for gatherings and they act like they're all cool with each other and they fake smile, fake hype, fake love. You know that toxic energy, like you walk, and that's why people are asking me why I don't do social gatherings. I never used to do social gatherings when I was back home. You know why? Because at times I used to find humans very insufferable. Like you're around people you don't like and you're here grinning through it and pretending that you like these people. That makes you a witch. That makes you the worst of the worst. If you don't want to be around these people, leave. Don't be around them. But so for me, it taught me I won't go to a social gathering just to play pretend. No. But I see it a lot here. They'll, you know, like we have the conventions that happen. I've been to these conventions. And I've seen when you walk into the room, if you walk into the hotel lobby at a convention, a Ugandan convention, good God, it's beautiful. The energy of Uganda, people are hugging, bro, big up. 30 minutes into it, people will start to cocoon themselves and start, gundi wamulabi, gundi yabadene gundi. Gundi notayina sente motoka yagitunda munnange oba akola mulimu ki naffe tetumanyi bannaye baddiya tuli Bulaaya buli omu muleka yiye kyeyeeyiyizaako. You don't necessarily have to be happy for somebody. Just ignore people's, you know, trials and tribulations. Just don't be two-faced about it. You walk into a room and you see people all hugging it up and bigging up each other, and then once they split, they go into cocoons and start talking about each other. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I would rather stay away from a social gathering if I'm going to be the conversation at the end of the day. Then how about I don't become the conversation by not showing up? People are just wrong. People are so wrong. Like you really see somebody who you know you don't like. And that's why I never ever trust somebody. If you are my friend and we're seated together and you tell me I don't like so and so, I'm like, oh, noted. And then so and so walks in and you're like, hi. It is in that moment I will wash my hands off of you and keep it moving. I'll keep it moving because I know the next person you're finna do that to is me. It's me. So it is in that moment I'll be like, yeah, you know, it's been real. It's been good. But can't humble my dear. Why do we have that? You know, when you go to all these other different communities, they will help each other. They'll be like, so and so just came, tainach, direct them here, teach them how not to fumble this bag, teach them. They help each other. With us, it is more of katwe yogereko gundi yazze babeerawa tetumanyi alia asula bulungi alina kalina alinani aliwa yiyi wamulabye man. I'm just saying. These are just humble. These are just humble opinions that, because I have been seeing it. I've been seeing it. Like if you opened up a restaurant here and you say this is a Ugandan restaurant, right? You're going to think that all the Ugandans in your hood are going to definitely show up, you know, rep for you because that is something for them. It don't go down like that. but you'll see them with so much tenacity going to another establishment. And then if you got that same Ugandan restaurant and probably say put a Chinese person or a white person at the forefront and not tell them that it is African owned or Ugandan owned, they will show up. They will rave about it too. They will actually go around saying, yo, waliwo abazungu wali emmanga abamanyi ofumba amatooke. You'll be like, okay. Okay. Why are we like that? I think it's an East African thing. I think it is not just in the diaspora. But you see, because Fenata Tulina when we are home, my dear. We might want to say we are above the other economy. You dig what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to ask. Why do you show up for gatherings if you're not genuinely happy for the people that you're going to be gathering with? Why do you show up for these gatherings and play pretend that you're friends with these people with those fake smiles? Don't waste your time. You have one shot at life. Why are you wasting your time playing pretend? I'm just asking. I will personally excuse myself from any social gathering, especially if I'm like, one, I don't know these people. Two, they may want to make me the conversation and just find out what the hell is going on with me. Three, I don't trust them because I don't know them from a can of paint. Cool. Why do you show up for things and play pretend? Touch your heart and say, I'm a witch, I am a witch, I am a witch. You people like to call us witches for just being honest, but the dishonesty amongst all of us. I will exclude I will exclude myself. I do not show up where I am not wanted. I do not show up to a space where I feel the energy is not right for me. I just can't. I can't. And most times when you bump into people who have been in this country long, like I'm speaking for the States, when you bump into somebody who has been in this country so long, this is what they will tell you. They're like, oh, why? Namala nengamba bana Uganda kambeso anyway. You're like, but dude, you've been here too long. You would be the backbone of the community. They're like, no. Nabe salako, nemfune mirembe. You're like, but it's just just a few of us out here. You know, we need to stand together. No. All the Ugandans I have seen here who gave themselves peace are the people who stayed out of the community. It's Kenyans. I'm seeing someone saying, oh, what Kenyans? No, I am married to a Kenyan. I see their bullshit. And for them, it is tribal. It is tribal BS. Uganda? You show up for a convention, you're like, so why did all of you come? That means you're all narcissistic human beings trying to play pretend that you're good people. Y'all are evil. Mwena, mubera evil. I keep telling people, there is no shame in keeping to yourself if you know that the people you're around are not people you want to F with, you know? Bona, church, the East Africans, because over the weekend, I attended a dinner party and I was a Ugandan, there were Kenyans, there was a Congolese, there was Zimbabweans, Nigerians. It was a mix of different, you know, entities, and you know, we had some white folk too, and and I was listening to the conversations that we were having, and it made sense to me that I would rather be in a community that doesn't have one of my kind and I'm just one of the kind. Like, it is much more peaceful. It is much more peaceful for me to show up in a situation where I'm like, there's a Kenyan, there's a Tanzanian, like there's a different entity from a different space. It's not like 5-4 of us from one space. It's peaceful. It's peaceful. I'll sit comfortably. I'm like, yeah, we out here. But as soon as I join just like more than 3 Ugandans, 4, 5, your guard goes up instantly. You're watching what you say, you're watching how you walk, you're watching how you spend, you're watching everything. Your guard shoots up to 3,000. I'm like, where? This is not right. This is not right. And it's not just for Ugandans. I'm speaking for Ugandans because I'm a Ugandan, and I'll speak on Kenyans because I see how my husband deals with his community. Because at first, back in the day, he was so into the community. You know, he was like, in it, gang ho, doing everything. Hey, is officially that number I've told you who says, I had to leave them alone to have peace. Where? And it's so weird in our same diasporas. People are silently waiting for you to crash and burn. Why? We're all in another man's country. Whether you are a citizen or not, this is not home. At the end of the day, when they ask you where are you from, you'll say Chicago. They're like, no. Like, where are you from originally? And that is so annoying. But they do it. They do it. Like, somebody will literally walk up to you like, hey, so where are you from? And you're like, Chicago. They're like, oh yeah, word. I mean, like, really, like, where are you from originally? You're like, you meant that. It's disrespectful, but they do it. So at the end of the day, home is going to stay home because that is the birthplace of who you are as an individual. You will always stay that individual. At the end of the day, and I am I be looking at certain things in this. These same diasporas are the ones who are sleeping, the men are the ones sleeping with your wives, the wives are the ones sleeping with your husbands. These kids are being talked about by the other family is hoping that that child doesn't succeed. It is so much toxicity. If you feel you cannot deal with humans, Banange, cut yourself. Me, I'm now here out just trying to protect this my peace. I think I'm about to make me a Chinese friend. I want me a Mexican. I want me a Chinese. Then I want me a good solid white person. I got that one. Because, you know, white, like Cat Williams says, get you a white friend. Oh, they are loyal and then some. They could know you for 2 minutes and they will stand by you in court, bail you out of jail. They will do it all. So I'm getting myself a white friend, check. And I think I'm going to join the list of like, I have to stay away from these ones for my peace because, man, I'm speaking on this out of experience. Like, I'll be having a conversation with a fellow Ugandan here, and the name will drop. Baba, you're like, so you mean my name also drops like that in different conversations, and I'm had as a conversation child of God? Can't be, no. But it's just something I want to talk about. Stop going to social situations if you feel you are not going to genuinely be happy for the people you're meeting up with. You're a witch. Stop showing up for social gatherings and stuff just to go, just to go and begin talking about your fellow Ugandan or your fellow Kenyan or your fellow Tanzanian. This is a big ass cake. We can all eat from it at Fendane Tukuta. What a guy. I be seeing certain things in these diasporas and I'm like, wait a minute. This diaspora will teach you how to become an introvert real quick. Real quick. Because the people to trust are very few. Very, very few. Me, in this country right now, I trust very few. I have my family down in Texas. Big up to yourself. I have a few of them in California. Big up on yourself. And that's it. Kubanga gwe. I am a witch. I am a witch. I am a witch. I mean, maybe too. I like to use my experiences here, man. I want to tell you guys. And I got to not to live a weed off and not to live way. That's it again. Ati nacho chizo okumvumya mu diaspora badia. Era icho kyandimvumya naye tuveeyo. Tuveeyo. Today's conversation is about none other than Baby Pombe. Today's conversation is about Baby Pombe. Someone was like, T, it's the cup for me. My cup is a huge cup. I love this cup. It says hella gorgeous. You see that? It was a gift. And every time I take coffee from it or tea, I'm like, I'm a tea freak, by the way. I collect tea. So, what's been happening in your life? I like to give you a realistic point of view before we delve into all the shenanigans we can't control. At least I know we can control certain things, and that is our social welfare, our well-being. Yeah, that today what baby Pombe did. All of you see, I know you did. You know, he has been tweeting for a while, and I'm the same person who was here and I told you to chima amazi tulekerawo okufaayo kyekyogera tusirike tukiveeko nekitweetinga kyali kitweetinga nekitweetinga nga tetufaayo. We were all good. We were all good. We were used to him. Every Friday it had become a cue. Me, I knew it. Every Thursday night he would drop a teaser tweet. Then he would tweet like 4 times in the night on a Thursday, right? Then Friday would be a lit day. He would tweet the whole day and night into Saturday. Right? I know you all noticed the pattern. It was a very strict pattern. Like they had written a script for him. Anywho, he came back, and I'm breaking my rule of saying to Chima Amazi, kuba nange chino chance to seko. And I know, bitone binsukako, na ye chino, nange chance obeda. So I know most of you saw his tweet about NRM. Yeah, he came out and he said he does not believe in NRM as a party. Right? And we all jumped, mama. We all jumped off. We're like, what? Achoge day. It is finally happening. Wululu, walala. I looked at Ugandans all getting very confused. Good Lord. He is tired. He is... Same script, different cast. So he went on again with a whole range of different tweets after that one. But the main concern, the one that tickled our fancy, was the fact that he said he doesn't believe in NRM. And then the second one that came close to tickling our fancy again is him saying he's going to have an announcement. He's going to announce something. I'm like, but when Balaam and his fellow Askisas sit down, can't they think of Bafunayo script writer mulala? Ono script writer abalabisa. Tali bawa magezi. Like, script writer... we need a mature script. We need a plot twist. We need something that is going to get, like those, when you're watching a movie and then boom, plot twist, you're like, I didn't see that one coming. We saw this one coming. Which one of you, no, be honest, which one of you didn't see Baby Pombe coming out to say, I don't believe in this, or I don't believe in that, and I am the next one? And you know what bugs me the most? Is that these human beings are actually sitting us down and they're telling us to pick a lesser evil. That's the audacity for me. Like, hey, you have Shaitwan here. On this hand, there's Shaitwan. And on this hand, El Diablo. Pick one. It is the same guy. Shaitwan and El Diablo equals the devil. Why do you want me to pick? There is no lesser evil here. Nzabanda inatunulide no script, and I'm like, la baba, no. Na hata manye chinsasa. Chinsasa is that there are some Ugandans who are actually falling for this nonsense. And the elite too. Like, they really took to different platforms to have conversations about it. I watched the political scene. I was watching all the political shows that came up after he dropped those tweets. I watched what was happening in Parliament, and I'm not even home. And it was all of the elites, the politicians and the politricians, all of them were like, we have to discuss this, the tweets being made by this journal. I'm like, like, we are really giving this time. We are choosing a lesser evil. It is the same coin, different faces, heads or tails. Same coin. So, I remember I sat here and I told you, wait and see how this is going to play out. He started his campaigning earlier. Yeah, he started his campaigns with the whole so-called birthday celebrations. But before the birthday celebrations, we had started seeing the different posters coming up. And before, way back before that, we had also seen that Rabogo, his brother-in-law, had also tried to say something about him contesting for the seat of presidency in the coming election. So all of this, let's wrap it up together. Now, of course, with these tweets that happened recently, he also took in the in-laws. It is just a free-falling situation. Tebulina constancy, they are just roll on. He also went for his brother-in-law. He said some stuff about him and how they, basically when I read the tweet about his brothers-in-law, it's like he was telling them, shut up, you're only here because we let you be here, you ain't shit, shut up. And Rabogo couldn't say nothing, as much as he retaliated with some very smart words. I'm still in my head asking, so you give me Museveni, you give me Baby Pombe, and you give me Rabogo. Haven't you people noticed it is still the same family? What we are trying to do is get out of dynastic politics. Which part don't we understand? Like seriously speaking, which part don't you understand? That we can even sit down as a country and have conversations about, will the son succeed the father? Is there a rift going on between? It's a script. It is so not well thought through. We can see right through it, but we are still having conversations of if it's a possibility. For shame, Uganda. For shame, you are the exact reason why these idiots are still having the audacity to all stand up and say, me too, I also want a chance to mess it up some more. We are the problem. We are the problem because they know they can sell us any narrative and we're going to bite into that ish and chew away. Because man, the tweets dropped like this. Every TV station had already aligned its speaker. Every political show had already started. We want. Man, at Westwaza. And you know what's so funny is when you look at the communities around us, East Africa, let's just use East Africa. When you look at how people look at us because of what he says, it gives an insight into who we are as a people. To be honest, there is no way you're going to convince an outsider that we are any different than our creme de la creme. Because remember, your leaders reflect who you are as a people. Whether you have chosen them or not, the fact that you can let them lead you, it immediately and directly reflects on what you are as a population and as a people. So, he is a tweeting general in Uganda. He is known, he is the first son. He is so blatant about that. He will constantly remind us, oh, my father, right? He is a big shot in the army because what? My father, right? We keep going. He is not just only those things. He actually is influential and he is in the army, right? So you're not going to convince an outsider that he does not hold the views of the people. Try convincing an outsider. Just try. Let's try it. Man, we look like, hey, you guy. I just cannot. I just can't. Omwana agenda ku Twitter n'atujjukiza taatawe Chirona misana my daddy. I mean, I get it. Daddy wasn't around for quite some time and daddy did not love you enough for you to have confidence and take. I look at people like, look at Kenya. Right? Kenya has Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has literally been trying to be the president for life. I'm not going to go into his politics and why he isn't where he's supposed to be, but when Raila speaks, Kenya will listen. Right? Raila Odinga has a daughter, Winnie Odinga. Is she called Winnie? And this girl has her own political stance. She can stand as an individual. Wali kukona nga tatademu na byatata we just ye nga ye. N'omuwagira Nomuwa Kalulu. She distances herself from most of the things that he does. Even when she's having conversations, she doesn't speak off the best of her father. No. She speaks on herself. Na yeffe tulina tweeting general who is consistently telling us he is coming agenda bafuga. Like that wasn't enough. As the tweets were going on and on and on and on, but dear, this is what killed it for me. So he went on and he said something. He's like, about the journalists. He's like, he's going to crush them. He is going to crush them, especially the ones in Monitor who have been abusing them. When he comes into power, he will crush, decimate, kill, whatever it is he has to do. This is a reigning official in the army, a first son, who is vying for presidency. He has the audacity to go on a social media platform and say things like, I will crush you, just like his daddy does, right? And he blatantly puts out that that's a threat. That is a threat. It is actually not a threat. It is a promise. I need for people to kwaula. I keep telling people, I can make you a promise or I can make you a threat. But he promises to crush journalists. And I'm seated there and I'm bugged by the fact that all the TV politicians who came on, what he said about crushing journalists and all of that, it was just, nah, it wasn't all such a big deal. Their big deal, their biggest issue was one, that he said he doesn't believe in NRM. Uganda jamulaga bagenda. Sirina bigambo nze. Sirina bigambo kuba bano bagayi bo beyagadde. Ki Uganda kyabwe. Kati batuuleka at dinner time. They sit home at dinner time and they're like, so which one of you wants a chance at this whole thing? And they're like, mommy, me. Like, but okay. Natasha niwe gambira baro. Nawe takwenda kuba president. Ate nanye mami na ntakumanya bitu kambuze. Kambuze yana enda kuba president. Kandi we rwabogo niwe noyenda. Ati mbwenu kandi ngambe chenanye nimbasa kuchija zisaba. But I think they sit down and have these kind of conversations when they're at home. They're like, Zembata. Ababiru. You know, they call us Abiru. Ababiru. Mama. And you know what's sad? We're going to let them. That is what breaks me. That is that we see all this stuff. It is happening. And it is going to happen. And Ugandans are going to let it happen. Agarhang. Come 2026. This excuse of a human being, this child who never got daddy's attention because daddy was fighting to liberate a country, so he never had time to raise him, and his mother was frustrated too because daddy was in the war and she couldn't keep doing this shit too. She didn't know if he would come back home. She was dealing with some issue. Now when we talk about traumas, childhood traumas really do show up when we are older. If all of you think this boy is not traumatized, then you have a problem. This is classic. If you just thought up at any therapist's doorstep, they will tell you this is classic abandonment issues. He exhibits abandonment issues. He does. Because ain't no way you're going to tell me you were the firstborn, right? Your daddy was out fighting a whole war to liberate a country. Your mommy who you stayed with was also dealing with the same simple fact that, hey, your daddy could come back today or not. And you think they had time for you? Classic abandonment issues. But what's sad is that come 2020, when are we going back to the polls? Come 2026. Is it 2026 or 2025? 26, I think. Yeah. He will come on the ballot. We know nga akalulu we bagenda okabba. Tumanyinga we bagenda obbakuba, tumanyinga drone bwe zigenda osigala nga zibakima, tumanyinga byonna bwe bigenda okgenda. And still tetunaba kunyiiga. Tetunyiigira ki. Buli kimu kiri fine. Buli kimu kiri aire, si kyo?
buli kimu kiri fine nnyo tetukirinaako obuzibu. They will come and they will go. That's a question. Someone is asking, why do we even vote? Zinabagamba, our only hope. According to me, most of y'all may not understand it, but according to me, when you ask me what's the only hope for Ugandans, I will tell you to do what Kenya did. Kenya went, got their old as hell constitution that couldn't cater for the times that they are living in, scraped it, got a new constitution, because we're still running with the constitution that the white man made for us, but that's a conversation for another day. That's a conversation for a whole nother day, right? But I would think we need to get rid of our constitution because our constitution has been defiled in so many ways unimaginable. Like, they have done the mostest with our constitution. Scrape that constitution. Secondly, we need to get out of this multi-party politics and all of that. No, we need to let that go. We need a new form of governance, and the only one that is going to get us to where we want to be and where we deserve to be and have to be is a federal governance. That's it. That's it. Because even if we took to the polls, according to me, this and tewali bias wano, tujja genda mu bululu, sicho? Tugende mu bululu, tujja kimanya batubbye. Tujja kimanya mbu batubbye. N'abaana abate batubbye, fe abamu abatakikkiriza tujja kugamba batubbye. Sicho? Aye yenna anaagenda mu bululu obwo n'awiininga. Temweconfusinga. Power corrupts all eventually. Even if our Messiah came down right now from heaven. Look what I'm laughing at. Even if we got the Messiah that we really, really want, whoever it will be, Bobby Wine, whoever it is, and they come. These are human beings. They have faults, they have flaws, and they also have character and judgment issues, right? Anybody can fumble. Power corrupts all. You can fumble anything. So he will come and if we're still using the same form of governance, it means that they are central and key to every decision made in the country. Right? And you can see that head down a bad road sooner than soon. It's just bound to happen. But then imagine if it's a federal system. A federal system of governance. I have explained this to you. I don't know how better to explain it, and I hope you people have read about it. This has nothing to do with what tribe or any tribe. A federal system, literally what it does, it's going to break down the whole of Uganda into tiny regions. Each region is going to be responsible for everything in that region. When I say responsible, I mean they'll be responsible for their laws in that region. They'll be responsible for their hospitals, their schools, their infrastructure, their education, their taxes will be solely dedicated to them. So you don't need the central governance to pass any bills or any taxes or anything. Actually, the central government will have to look down at these little states and ask them, the president would like to do this, mukiriza. So that means power is not consolidated in one place. Power will be distributed evenly and equally, and in many ways that promotes healthy growth for any nation. Look at all the countries that are federal states. It promotes growth because if you are saying Eastern region, you do not need to write to the president's office and ask for roads. You do not need to have one honest person to decide if you need new schools, if you need this, if you need that. No, the taxes collected in that region will cater to your schools, your hospitals, your roads, your everything, because the power starts within that constituency, within that place, that government, that state. So basically, each state is like a tiny government. And you have someone you can hold directly accountable. But now, you're in Kampala, you know the roads are messed up. You do not know if you should go to your member of parliament. You do not know if you should go to your local chairman. You do not know if you should write to the president's office or UNRA. Nobody knows the chain of command. You write to UNRA and UNRA will be like, the government hasn't yet released money. Then the government will come out and say, but no, we released money. Then UNRA will be like, okay, you released money, but it wasn't enough. Case in point, Look at the Magogo situation that happened recently. Was it 2 days ago? Yesterday, I saw it online. The government apparently says they released 10 billion Uganda shillings. 10 billion was sent to the sports situation, right? According to Magogo, he says he only received 8. 8. Who are you going to hold accountable? Who? Who? So, with whatever you do, I need for every Ugandan to understand. One, the leader the leader you have now is never going to allow for you to get federalism. Because techimukolera ye n'abantu be techimukolera era jatambula abagambe everything wrong about federal. And I remember for me from growing up, before I decided that I need to understand what it is, nze nakula manyi federal ya abaganda bagala mbu batufuge buli bwamu bebabeere mu kintu fe abalala tubereja. Then one day I grew up and I decided to look into what is federal. Kuba twakula tuli bayimba federal twagala federal. Hey, you know why? Baganda saw it. Because you see, Uganda wasn't always a unitary government. In the beginning, Uganda was actually a federal state. Did you all know? I have told you these things, but I don't know if you actually even look into them. Uganda wasn't always a unitary state. No, it was a federal state at some point. And the Baganda knew how to make it work. And if you want to know that the Baganda understand what federalism is, look at how they run Buganda right now. That will make you understand. With the fact, leave aside the fact that, you know, we have to deal with the politics of the country also salting and peppering in there, because that's just how the current government wants it. They do not want any entity to solidify power, right? But look at how Buganda runs its situation. Then you will know. Then you will understand. Give each region federalism and you will see. So if you're in Western Uganda and you're under federal, you will know that in Western Uganda we have cows, we have amate, we have tourism, we have this. Everything in that region is entirely yours as a people, and you have someone directly responsible for it, and you're collecting taxes that are not going to be thrown in a whole lot with URA where they're explaining to you how the taxes work, and you're there as a Ugandan and you're like, they do? Why are we getting so many loans then if we're collecting taxes? And they're like, you see, the tax base is very small. You're like, wow. But imagine if each state could only account for the tax base they have and use the little that they have. Say Western Uganda has a tax base of, say, 5 trillion. And every turn of the year, that 5 trillion should be used to make sure they have good roads, good schools, good teachers are paid, doctors are paid. You think Tachisoboka? You think Tachisoboka? Mwana bisoboka. Bisoboka. But the one thing that this government did, they made sure that the first thing they will make every Ugandan hate is the thought of federal. Ugandans don't even know what federal is. Nkuterawo mukono guno gutemeko. Genda mukatali. Yeah? Tetugenda muberiti. Those are inconsequential. They know what to do, but they're just there, carrying empty heads around. Genda mukatali. Osange mama mboga. Omubuuze. Federal chechi. Agenda kugamba ekintu kimu. Abaganda bagala batufuge mama naffe tulina gye tuva. Then take time, like I always say, each one teach one. Take time and explain to them that federal is a system of governance. They'll be like, oh, you mean there is a system of governance where we don't have to be we literally beg. Have you Ugandans noticed that you are literally constantly begging, that we even turned it into a laughable situation where Ugandans will comfortably say, tusaba government here to yambe. Twachimanyira. That when a certain region needs a new road, they are going to Did you see that nonsense with doctors? That idiot who came and knelt down with a bunch of doctors thanking the president. In a federal system, you do not need to disgrace yourself like that. You do not need to disgrace yourself. In a federal system, there is not going to be a single person who is saying is innocent because each region is directly involved. You have to make sure that in central region we have this amount of money, our civil workers have to earn this much. You know who to crucify when it's time for crucifixion. But now we have grown-ass men going down to kneel before a president and say, thank you for giving us an increment. Why would you thank him for going to school and doing what you decided to do and taking an oath to save lives? Why are you thanking a ninja who can't tell a catheter from an injection? Why? But they made it such a way. I tell you, what is on their side is that Ugandans, one, the population of the educated people in Uganda is actually very low. And the ones that are in the higher ranking of, say, educated, look at the type of education you have. And this one is not just a Ugandan thing. The education system in Africa, for me, when I look at it, was designed to keep us from reaching a certain level intellectually. That is why you see other countries, China, they are churning out people who are necessary for their existence, right? But in Africa, we are still using education systems that were given to us by the white man, but even the white man doesn't use those education systems. Not ulaone webuza, but wagazachi. So even the educated in Uganda, yes, they are educated on paper, but true education is not just being educated on paper. It is opening up your intellect to different situations and seeing other things and being comfortable enough to critically think. We don't have critical thinking in Uganda. There is not a single part where we have critical thinking in our education. So the educated are there, but even they do not know how to use their education to ask for better or demand for better. Kwagamba n'otulaba ffenna tutudde tuli awo mu kanzunzu, abasoma we bavuma abataasoma, naye nga ffenna nze ndaba twenkana. So you have a government that has, one, a very uneducated population. Two, a population that doesn't like to read or research or want to know their rights. Three, a very poor population, because let's not fake it. Keep a man poor and you'll forever control him. So what do? Economy has gone to the dogs. Muliawa muchakaaba, tusaba presidenti, tusaba batu wekino, tusaba mugenda sigalanga musabiriza. These are all efforts put in place to keep you in a certain state of mind. Now, when you rise up and now you want better, and someone has opened up your minds and you're like, oh, we need this, we need that, what do they resort to? They now use the one trick that every dictatorial or authoritative government will use. Fear. Kidnappings, mass murders, abductions, torture, so that you, a poor, uneducated Ugandan, is going to sit back and look at life and how it's going in Uganda, and the first thing you're going to tell yourself, naye mpachi. Yeah. You'll ask yourself, mpachi. You people keep thinking I'm lying about these things, but look into them. Look at your education. How big of a difference has your education made in your life? How big? You notice this when you finish an education back home and you come to a country like this with your degree or your diploma, and then now you want to convert it to the one here. So kanotula no gamba, wow. No kwata omwana w'emyaka 7. Baseza owo 7 wano. My daughter is 7. My stepson is 7. They're the same age, right? But I look at the things my stepson, who has been born here and raised here, what he can do academic-wise versus what my daughter can do. and I am humbled. Same age. Same age. And let's not forget, I am one of the few parents who has tried to expose their kids to different entities, you know, computers, social media, not that type of social media like the one we're on, but I'm meaning, you know, educative stuff. I've tried that. But even with how much I have exposed my kids, when I sit them with my stepkids, Otiamu. Nze nabagamba, I use my own examples. Yeah, because I have a blended family. I have 3 kids, my husband has 2 kids, all in the same age gap. Our eldest at 13, our youngest 7. So my eldest son is 13, our eldest daughter here is 13. My youngest is 8, 7, no, he turned 8 actually. And also my daughter is 8, she turned 8. But I constantly like to weigh them. It's not that I'm weighing them for a bad reason, but I'm trying to see what exactly my country is doing to my kids and what it did to me. And it's tough to say, we don't have an education system. We got trash. Kitegeera. So all of these things have been put in system, in place, to keep you there, woli. Byonna bitunuliramu ng'omunauganda n'ogamba naye nfa ki, ne bwe nnaagenda okulonda gwe nnonda si yagenda okubeerako. Okitegeera? Ne bwe nnaasaba gavumenti etuyambe bajja kunnyamba nga baagala kalulu. Bwe nnaagezaako nnyimirire ŋŋambe enaafu is enough bajja kunteeka mu durooni. Abaana bange banaalyawa. Already sirina kendya. Kantuule. Ino nyankole wise. Fama mije. No shitamo fama mije. No fama mije. That's just it. So, each one, teach one. We have so much power, and that's why I keep telling you people, read your constitution, read your constitutional rights, read them, read them, read them. Onfuna, read them. Federal, ekolera buli omu. Nena America gye tulimu gye tweyagaliramu bwe tuti maama ne tuwanika amannyo. It's a federal state. Kenya etuli wali ku koona. It's a federal state. You see, the federal state, what it does, it takes power from one person. Kujjako consolidation yeyo yonna mbu buli ekinaayita mu ggwanga kiinaayitira mu ki? Mu president. No. Wherever there is a federal state, it means that each state that is recognized as a state has its pretty much its own governance. I know most people don't understand like the politics of America. I'm also trying to understand the politics of America because it's a federal governance, right? So I'm learning it, but I know you've heard things like, so they passed this motion, but 2 states said no. And then coming from an African place, you're like, they said no, but they have a president. Can't Biden do that? And then you hear, because the state said no, Biden can't do that. You're like, but he's the president of the free world. Even the president of the free world can't do much without the states are all over agreeing. That is what a federal state is. It breaks away that consolidated power in one person. Imagine if America was a unitary government. The power is in one person's hand, and it was Trump's time. Hey! Imagine. But their constitution and their outlook on democracy, it helped. It helped. They took to the polls, regardless of what Trump had to say. They took to the polls. And the cards and chips fell where they may. You see, because what a federal state does, it safeguards the people's power. Atecho temwagala kitegeera. We are chanting people power, but only a federal state, a federal governance will be the one to consolidate the people's power, because only that type of governance can give the people back its power. Tebabalimba, there will be a president who will come in a unitary governance and they will do right by you. No. No. They may be the best person. They may have our interests at heart. But at the end of the day, power corrupts all and we are all human. We are nothing but flesh and bones. But imagine if you had a system where you don't have to worry who is at the helm. Because you know, these other tiny governments will always hold him at his tippy toes and he doesn't get to decide what you want. You see what happened with abortion in this country? Some states said, no, they passed, the Supreme Court passed the Roe versus Wade, right? They passed it. It is law. But certain states said, no, you may pass the law, but in our state, we don't have a problem. Our people can have abortions if they want to. It's a safeguard. It's a safeguard. And you get to decide in whatever state who you want. If you're in a state where you want a person who is far right, you will vote for a far right. For your Republicans, for your Democrats, you will vote for who you want. Either in Senate. Kwagamba, mwino okutegeera gavumenti zino. Mwino zitegeera federal. Tell everyone, federal governance is not about Buganda. It is a system of governance. Look them up. When you got democracy, there are also systems of governance. And each country will choose one from the book and run with it. But I can guarantee you that the countries that are making the most out of it are the ones that are that are federal government. Those are the ones. Netubeera wano kirona misana netwerimba tumuggyako Museveni agende ne bwe tunamuggyako n'agenda ne tufuna omulala essaawa yonna power corrupts all naye ayinza otuvaamu. But imagine if we decided we are not going back to a unitary governance, we are simply going to do federal governance, because with federal governance it is followed to the T. You come, you do your terms, 1 term, 2 terms, it don't matter. It depends on what the people vote for. It's a safeguard. It is like a nice safeguard put in place, like in case of emergency, break. It is there. It is there. But again, this is what makes it funny for me. All your elites, me, I don't consider myself an elite. I'm a nobody. I like to believe I am down here with my fellow countrymen, and you know. But all your elites who have platforms, all your elites, even if they have agendas, why haven't you tried to ask them to explain these things? Why don't you ever put them on the spot to explain that there are different types of political systems, there are different types of governing systems? Nedda, bagenda ku Twitter buli omu ne boogera statistics, walala. You see how we see when it was in this government with the other government and they did this governance. Eyo tuveeyo. Tusooke tugezeeko okukola ekyangu ennyo. I just wish we could all just take it upon ourselves. I just wish we could organize ourselves in a way that we are not just screaming change, but we put safeguards in place that will guarantee change for a lifetime. Because right now, I know, and this is something that most people who, right now, most people, when you say anything about Bobi Wine or that, they are like, oh, so angered and so triggered. This is not about being angered and triggered. This is about us wanting something that is sustainable. Right? And do I think Bobi Wine would be something good? Yes, he would be something good if we can find a way to put him in place so that if he comes in, he gives us federal governance. Is he open to it? Has he discussed it? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Let me know if he has talked about federalism. Because I feel like that is one thing he should be singing and chanting. I feel like if it were up to me and I had a way to talk to Bobby Wine, I would tell him to not just chant people power, but to make people understand that with certain with certain forms of governance, we can actually consolidate that people power. If I had a way I could reach out to Bobby Wine, I would tell him with your platform, right? With your platform, I want you to educate the masses because he has such a following of ardent believers. I was one of those people when it started up. You remember, it was on TV. I used to be like, because I was drunk on the NRM juice. I was working for the government. Until day by day, when the government switched sides on me, is when I sat back and I'm like, Rindako, I need to switch it up. It's some bullshit. Some bullshit. And I had to wake up. And I've seen people trying to come at me and say like, oh, when she got off TV is when she switched. Nigga, please. Everybody has their wake-up call. I got mine when I walked out of that TV station. But if I had the time, if I had a conversation with Bobby Wine, because he reaches out to everyone. I've seen him reach to the woman who sells kaswali on the street. I've seen him reach out to the elite with an education so top tier. I have seen him bridge gaps of human beings called Ugandans, and I am humbled by it. But I believe the easiest way for him to kukunga, ngabwe tuchiita kunga, we should stop making it about one person and liberate the country as a whole. As a whole, we need to have sensitization about what federalism is, and I believe Bobby Wine has the biggest platform to teach Ugandans. We need to demystify it so that Ugandans can understand that they have options. We need to demystify it because right now it is covered in a cloud of mystery. Huge cloud of mystery. And I'm not saying that federalism is just going to be all a bed of roses. Africans will find a way to ruin even the most thing. I'm saying someone talking about Nigeria. Nigeria's issues are totally different. You have to have a federal system that gets hand in hand with your constitution. And what you allow your people to go through, your people to allow is going to set the precedent. That's the honest truth. We can't sit here and say the federalism is bad simply because of Nigeria. When you put them two and two together, the pros and the cons, or you put the ones who have won at it and the ones who have failed at it, I think the people winning at it are much, much better and more. Right? So, as people who, right? As people who keep saying we want change, we want better, because our wants and our needs are not just about wanting a new governance. When we say we want a new governance, it's because we want an economy that works for us. We want an education system that works for us. We want our medical system to be flawless, not flawed. We want our infrastructure to be growing and not just you know. We want better governance because we want all these aspects to be catered for. So, I'll keep singing this song and I'm saying, before we can scream change, 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 can we first give people the options of what change they can ask for? Because when we were screaming, when our ancestors were screaming change from the very first president, who was the Kabaka of Uganda, of Buganda, we got that. Then Milton Obote said, nah, I think we need better. We need better. Change, 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 come again. Scream change, got change. As we're still dealing with that. Tito Lutwa, Obote, very many have come and gone. Different presidents have come and gone. So we have changed God, right? We have changed God. But this is where we are. So wachitewebuuza. You see, they say stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results each time you do it. Wamfuna, do you get it? I used to like that saying and it still makes sense to me. Stupidity is doing the same exact thing in the same exact way over and over and over and expecting different outcomes for each time you do it the same exact way over and over. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're going to keep screaming, change, 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 change. But if we do not get to the root of the problem, because we have changed God and we're still here, we're still fighting for our lives. We're fighting for our lives literally every day. We wake up and we are like, another day to fight being a Ugandan. I keep telling people, being a Ugandan is an extreme sport. You have to have law. Uganda to attack. No symbol, you go to attack, but you do not know how the attack is going to go. The uncertainty of being a Ugandan humbles you. It does. You wake up not knowing, come on. Everybody deserves to be in a step where they know if I get up in the morning, there is a chance for me to make a quick buck. There is a chance for my child to go to school. There is a chance for so many things. Mumfuna. I'm just saying. I don't have such a big reach, but for all the people, I know Bobby's people are watching. And if you're close to Bobby Wine, I know you're watching. I feel like, can we switch up this narrative before 2026? Can we please switch up the narrative? Can we first educate Ugandans on the options of change they have? Can we just do that? Can we just tell them that, okay, as much as you're screaming change for a new leader, hip hip, hooray, good for you, kudos, power to the people, these are the options you have. You can have a federal governance, you can have a unitary governance. There's so many types of governances out there. Just saying. I'm just saying, because as long as we keep screaming, change, 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 my dear, you will change. Power corrupts all. Even the Messiah himself can get corrupted. As long as we have this whole unitary governance going on, even the best of the best can fall, because with so much power comes so much great responsibility, and somehow it corrupts you. Let's look at something small. This is how I try to tell people. I like to explain myself. Imagine the person who is the most consequential at a wedding party is not even the person getting married. No. It is the guy who has the key to the alcohol and the food. Oyo mumugenda mpola, muweweta igoye. You want to sit comfortably and no gundi yali mu in charge. Oyo guy wange. Do you know how much power that guy holds? And just for that guy knowing he holds the power to say, open and bring out 2 crates. Have a look at them at a party. Even the lowest of persons, if you give them power and you tell them you have this power. Look at our police officers. They are supposed to protect and serve. But they have the power to do so much. Give them that power and see how they will use it ever so easily. They can just abuse it. We are all flesh and bone. We are human. And it's in our psychology, it's in our DNA to get drunk on power at some point. So I'm saying, can we first walk away from who is going to lead us to that change and first figure out, okay, as much as we are calling for this change, what change do we want exactly? So we want to get this good person because we know they have our best interest at heart. And then we want to put them in a situation that we know is going to protect we the people against him in case nature kicks in. That's what I'm trying to say here. We want who we want. Let's say case in point, we want Bobby Wine, right? Good. Sorted. He is the one there, okay? So we want Bobby Wine. But now we want to get Bobby Wine and put him in a type of governance that still protects we the people, because the power is us the people, right? So we're going to get that very nice leader, put him in a system that protects we the people. See beauty. See beautiful. See how it goes hand in hand. Where, you know, whether him being drunk on power will get to him, it doesn't matter, because we have a safeguard. The governance he is in still protects we the people in case his human nature kicks in. I think it's a win-win. I'm just saying, I think it would be perfect. Let's just think about it. It would be dope for you to get good leaders so that even if you get a bad leader, it doesn't matter. Look at what happened with American Trump. Whether he was good or bad, people believed in him, most people did not. We who sat outside looked at the whole shit show, we're like, wow, the free world is losing their marbles, but we're like, it's okay, they got this. And even with him doing his term and messing up so much, so little went down the drain. It was easily controllable because he was in a system of power and governance that still protects the people. Mumfuna, are we together? Oba, you know, someone said, why I'm not supposed to be talking about politics because I don't know it. This is not politics. This is just me logically thinking out loud, my random thoughts. I'm just saying. And even if it's not federalism, right? Just look out, look into the different types of governance. You have your phone. But can we please put the people, give the people options? Because as far as I'm concerned, Uganda only knows a unitary governance. So, if we're not trying to hide anything from the people and we truly want to liberate the people, how about we tell them the root cause of their suffering and pain? You dig? So let's sit out here and lay the cards out on the table for the people and tell them, well, you have this system of governance. It works like this and this and this and this and this and this. You have this one too, this and this and this and this one too. So as Ugandans, which one do you think works for you? Simple. I don't know why we complicate life. I don't know. My damn tea has gone cold. Damn. Let's be honest about it though. Other than just constantly flagging down, we're constantly just shouting, yeah, twagalono, twagalolia beko, twagalono. The root cause of the problem has not been dealt with. Because even if we get a new person in, now he has to come and undo what the previous person did. He has to come, refix the constitution. Why? Let us get someone who is not coming in to re-amend it to its former glory. No, we need someone who is going to come and say, one, I know I am here, but, right? I know I am here, but here is what is going to happen. So what we are going to do, we are going to change this whole thing because it was written at a time and a space where none of us can now exist, because the biggest population in Uganda has never seen any other president. Any other president. Nipe, look at the age group, your population. Mumanyi Museveni yekka. So, get someone who is going to say, constitution tetukolera. Tujichuse, we can take a few things from it that work, yeah, but tujichuse, tujitake out. Then, echokubiri, unitary system of governance is what we have been using since time immemorial, and it has clearly not benefited us. Right? So, these are the options of what governing systems we have. Give them to the people. But before you even get that far, you cannot begin saying, I'm going to change your lives while you're campaigning to us. Give us real campaigns. Don't just give us these whole statistics and all of that. No, it is not about the president now. It is about the systems of governance, because this one has failed us. So before you come to be my president, I want you to give me options of like, nze njagala kujamba kulembere naye enkulembere yange egenda beera bweti because kino ne kino ne kino, naye mulina option zino, nsobola bakulembera nga mwe abasazeewo mbakulembere ntya. Right? But then again, what do I know? What do I know? I don't. Because I be here on my small YouTube with my 20k, 8k followers on YouTube and my 46k on Facebook, and only very few of them are watching. And my very few people on TikTok, and I'm just spewing out these things. But I do hope there's an impact. I do hope that your people are going to share these messages. I do hope you can task your governance. I do hope you can talk to your area MPs, your area LC chairmans, and and the people who are giving you hope. Because I believe whoever is watching this is here because you are tired of what's happening in your country and you want better. So my thought is this. The people who we have who are saying they want to get rid of Museveni, Bobby, Besigye, all of those. So happy to have them. Love them. They're good. They're really good. But I also want them to give the people options and tell the people the root cause of the problem. We are where we are because one guy consolidated all the power. I want them to give the people options and tell them, besides me just wanting to be your president so that I can do better, I believe if I was with you and hand in hand we changed our governance, the system we're using, this is what will happen. But I have a problem with all of them just coming to front their idea of change through them. It's a good thing. Honorable thing. Not everybody can stand up and say ngenda kubeera president. So I respect them, mad respect. But I would love for these people to give their honest opinions and give the people options. Give them options. Tell them you can change this like that. Tell them to read their constitution. Educate the masses. You can't just keep coming here to scream, change, 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 change. But you're not giving these people the tools to really, really change. Because before you change what's happening, you have to change the population. You have to change the mindset of the population. Because this is the population you say you want to rule. This is the population you say you want to govern. So, I believe change also has to be done with the people. Give them the options of governance. Teach them how to read their constitution. Educate them on their rights. And then after you have given them all these tools, tell them, I think I am the best person to bring to you what you need as a people. But I feel like we started the other way around. And politicians do that. I can't fault them because that's what they are here to do. Politic and politic. That's what they do. I'm just being honest. But they're supposed to actually give us the true facts. They're supposed to tell us our economy is a shit show because of this. Our education system is a shit show because of this. Be honest with the people. Tell them the truth and give them options out as their leader. Be a real leader. Don't just come here and scream change, 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 change. The population you're telling to change doesn't even know change, because for them all they think is change is getting new governance. But if you're getting new governance and the politics of your country and your population doesn't know any better, you can literally do the same things that the previous person has done and they'll be none the wiser. And it's also upon you, the people, to want better. Just say it. It's a beautiful thing that we want change, and it's a beautiful people that there's some, like, it's very beautiful that there are few people out there who are brave and bold enough to stand up and say enough is enough. We want better. Beautiful. Love it. I am for it. All through and through. But the people you're trying to do all of this for also need a new mindset. They need a new way to think. They need to be educated so that not every person who comes into their lives as a ruler or as a leader does not manipulate them and take them for granted, because that's what all these other people have been doing. If Uganda is not such a democratic governance, then you have the power to change that. It's not, excuse, I see someone saying you're talking as if Uganda is a democratic governance. It's not a democratic governance, but the fact that you and I can sit here and watch this on a platform that was actually taken off, which is Facebook, that goes a lot to say. Defiance was born, the reason you're here. If you do not press these people to do what you want them to do, they are also just going to give you what they feel is good for you. That's it. You may call it contradictory coming from me. You may say what you want to say, and I believe everybody is entitled to their opinion. This is mine. This is mine. We want change. I can't wait for change. I know we cannot do much while we still have Museveni in power, because let's face it, he is the biggest dictator thus far, you know? And we get it. We do get it. But there are people who are in place and are trying to change that. So what I'm asking for these people is for them to also educate the masses that there are ways we can get better governance with them at the helm. That's all I'm asking for. And it's not so much to ask for, is it? It's not so much to ask for. It's not so much for me to ask all these aspiring leaders who want to give us the change that we so badly need to come and explain to us that as we are going to be, you know, out here trying to fight for the right to change whatever is happening, especially with our governance, these are part of the things that happen with governance. One, there's a system in place. And we have to break free from that system, because we have tried it over and over and over and over again, and it ain't working for us. Give us options. The only option you're giving us is a person. We've had that. As long as it has been, but we've had it. I want them to advocate for change as they give the population options on how that change can come about and how it can stay that way for eons and eons of years to come, regardless of who is in power. And I believe teaching the masses about the types of governance and their constitutional rights and all of that comes with it. They don't have to just preach federalism. There are almost about, 4 or 5 types of governances out there. Tell the people. Let the people decide. But don't just front the fact that you're changing the one man. One man That's too much. Too much work for one man. You'll drown in it. Anyway. Is that a car, Essie? It's my neighbor's car. He's parking out front. Anyway. Byebyo bye mbadde njagala okwogerako. Yeah. Someone was telling me to talk about Shiba's concert. What do you want me to say? I don't even know what happened. I just saw, I think, a clip on social where she was dancing on stage. Classic Shiba. Did it flop? Did it go right? Mu politics kati envuddeyo. Right? What happened? I'm waiting for you to tell me. What happened with her concert? Anyway, who cares about that? If it was a success, yes. If it was not, well, most people say Jeff Chiwa mlogo. Oh, Jeff Chiwa yagobane kalika baby. And his reason was what? She was bringing men and smoking shisha. You introduce a little known nobody to the life of the famous and the lifestyle of the celebrity, and you expect her not to wild out. She was literally a child. Anyway, let's wait for who he's going to pick up. Next one. Just saying. Politics mvudeko mvudeyo na mvudeyo da. Sigana bidda na mvudeyo. Think about what I've said. Well, who knows? Who knows? What else happened? Oh, Anita, what is her? Anita Among. Triple A. Baby girl. She got herself that Range Rover. That Vogue. Woo! Her cars are valued at what? 1.2 billion now? Yeah. As your Speaker of Parliament. Meanwhile, Magogo is telling them, I do not know where the 2 billion went. Me, I received 8 billion instead of 10. Okay. Another person would sit there and say, we need an audit. But shall we? Shall we? No, we shall not. Yaguze mmotoka byebaba ne Uganda byebaagala nabalabe ku social media bannange bagamba omukazi yaguze enzala yasoka n'agulira Boeing aguze enzala, like wow. And then I'm like, where does she get all that money? They're like, this woman has been in places of power for a long time. And I'm like, okay, a long time. Can we all look up how much salary she's entitled from all the time she has been in those places of power? And then also, if she doesn't mind, can she openly come out and express to us how much she owns in investments that bring back all this kind of money? Because dear Lord, she balling out of control. But I don't want to sound like a hater, so yay. Team Zex Biranjiranji, hashtag bleachers, we winning. Every woman who bleaches is winning. There could be absolutely nothing. As soon as they bleach, their class goes up. But hey, I didn't know. And this is something someone is going to come at me for. They showed me photos of, I didn't, honestly, on God, on my kid's life, I'm being for real, this is not shade. I didn't know who Prima Kadashi was. I didn't know who she was. Geosteady's baby mama. I didn't know who she was, right? So someone sends me a photo of her, because she's not my target audience, to be honest. So someone sends me a photo of her before and after, and I'm like, wow. And she's winning. She'll be catching flights and not feelings. Who else has bleached? Huh? Look at our dearest Bad Black. Oh, but dearest Bad Black won even before she bleached. The winning just skyrocketed after she bleached. These bleached babies be winning, girls. I think we should all go bleach. I think there's a blessing that comes with shedding your melanin. Of course, cancers and all of that will come later. But for now, hashtag, we are winning. No? No? I'm just saying. Look at all these girls who have bleached. But nangi, it seems like being yellow is a problem, is something that is bringing money in. Bana itimu kwa yeru samuli mutia. Baju de Dubai, bansanyula. And I was saying about socialites. They become socialites. Somehow, somewhere. They can't speak 3 words straight. And this is not even about English. But when you look at their outlook, you just want to walk up to her and you're like, excuse me, miss, how are you doing today? You want to waste all of the Queen's English on her. And then she opens her mouth and she's like, what are you saying? You're like, okay. I think we'll stick to the native. Though you kind of did strike me. Like, these girls bleach way past understanding. They look half-caste. So you think her second language will either be Swedish or French. And she's like, Nedda, tata wa masaka, mama wa eri ebutambala. You're like, wow. Wow. Bleached girls are winning. If you do not know that, if you do not know that I'm using this sarcastically, Guamanyi. Bleached girls, they are winning. Kaima. Wait, yo, people are saying Arthur Kaima bleached. He did. Wait, did we just call him a girl? Oh, well. To get it out. Zari too. Y'all remember that wasn't Zari's original color. It wasn't her real color. It never was. It was not. When you look at her old videos, and I do understand, you know, as we grow, you get new body products, not necessarily bleaching creams, but, and I have seen this with me. When I came here, I have been indoors pretty much all this time because I stay in. The weather is good and there's barely sun and all of that. So my skin tone has definitely gone a shade up lighter. And of course, when you start body health care and you start to look out for your body and you're like, you know, I don't like these marks, you're like, I'm going to take the marks off. I don't like my cellulite, you're like, I'm going to take my cellulite off. And before you know it, boom, you're slightly a shade lighter. That is not the one I am talking about. You know, cleaning up your skin tone and getting rid of that awkward sunburn that we get naturally from being in Africa. Yes, it's a thing. I didn't know about it. You see, when you're home, your skin is so used to the sun rays hitting you directly. Another thing we don't do back home, we never wear sunscreen, so that ish be burning. And you come into these countries and the weather, the altitude and everything changes you. You're like, where? I remember the first 2 months, my skin was literally peeling. I could peel off scabs of skin, right? That is not the type I'm talking about. I am talking about the ones who go sit down, get injections, like they will do it at all costs. Where? You remember a guy? You remember when Zari did her first song? Oh, don't even remind me. I don't know if you guys have watched it. But I wanted to know how much confidence she had. And Ivan is a bad guy, rest his soul. He literally told his woman, go baby, you can do this, I got you. She sang that song and she did a video for it. And I'm like, wow. But that wasn't her original color. As the years kept on going and as the more she traveled out of the country, boom! Now she is... she's now part of what she explained. You remember when she was trying to explain her genealogy to us? She was like, I am part Mexican, Chinese. What? She had like 7 different ethnicities in her. I was like, okay, Keanu Reeves, I see you. Oh, God. Oh, God. On God. The day when I saw her explaining her ethnicity, I was like, woo, child, Keanu got nothing on you. Woo. She had African, Chinese, Indian, Portuguese, black, blue, yellow. I'm like, go girl. It explains the skin tone. She is now light. Woo! You can't tell me nothing. These light-skinned girls are winning. I swear to God, they are winning. It always does. It does. But anyway, kanve kuno before my ulcers keep going because I'm taking cold tea. My stomach is starting to start, it's tripping. Hey, naye nga bannange. Ensi, si ajajjaawo. She's a mutant indeed. Nze zalina muvaako bayidiya. Omwana kati mweru muzungu. Naye manyi ekinsanyulako bakazi abeeyerusa. Kano katukasuulemu. Abakazi abeeyerusa mbagalako kintu kimu. Otunuulira maama n'otunuulira omwana n'ogamba naye. These kids be telling on their asses. These kids are unfair. I think if they can, n'abaana nabo babayiseemu lukalolate kubanga abaana babaloopa nnyo. Osooka n'otunuulira omukazi nga mweru ava wano mpaka yiri eri. Akaana ne kafulumayo nga kaddugavu n'ogamba what is going on? What happened? Huh? Now you're walking around. Now you're walking around with the child and people have to ask, oh, whose daughter is that? And you're like, mine. They're like, oh, we didn't know. Abaana bajja study baddugavu biri ebyalagirwa. Biri ebyalagirwa. Domzala no wakiriko mumuleke. Her kids are real half caste. So when she walks around with her kids, is all right. Is okay. But yo. I look at them, I'd be looking at Zari's kids and I'm like, okay. I'm in bed, want you to bali ebweru. Naye obweru bwa mama n'obweru bwa taata tebukwatagana ku mwana. Njagala ebyonooneseeza mwondeke. Naye mweyongera okweyerusa. Kansa tunaaziraba edda. What are you saying? A small cancer like this. Mweyeruse badiya, mweyeruse mwesiige ebizigo, mugende mufune empiso. Bino ebintu nsi yakuleka. Tugiryako makoola muge. Mama. Ndamundeke mweyeruse. Sibalinaako buzibu badiya mweyeruse mwekuba empiso. At some point, you might even become transparent. Tetubalinaako buzibu. Small cancer. Cancer unamulaba edda mwana weekuba ekizigo. Tetukuliiko bw'oba osobola n'abaana bakuba ekizigo so that you are like this. Uniform. So sibalinaako buzibu walayi. Sibalinaako. Kera n'otunuulira omunnayuganda ne bakugamba oyo yali gundi. You're like, no. Have you seen some of your orgies you went to school with? Nga you really know nakanjako wali muddugavu twakula naye nga kati otunulira nakanjako nga afaanana ki? Afaanana Omuchina? Yeah. Afaanana Omuchina. Somebody's saying, but you're glowing now. My glow is sponsored by good weather, staying indoors, and good product. It has nothing to do with my melanin. Ndoza buno mukyabulaba. Bukyali mu kala yabwo baby. Ondoza okutumu ndolabawo. Olaba. Wano wamugamba, this is where you tell from. Munda mukutu. Olaba. It is an even skin tone badia. Engalo ziraba. Zikwatagana. Mkwano. Zikwatagana. Hey. Sanyula. Nakanjako otunuulira nakanjako gwe yali naye mu S1 S2 S3 mpaka S6 n'omutunuulira n'ogamba nakanjako yafuuka ddi Omuchina nakanjako n'agenda okugamba when I meet my children and my husband we ng'abaana nzikiza. Ngabana bafana n'abawansi wa buliri. Muleke mwe. Abaana bawala mwekoze bintu e Uganda. Mwekoze bintu all in the name of beauty. Beauty? But anyway, for Africans it is bleaching. But you know what? We know what's funny though? And it's something you don't even know. Bleaching is not just for Africans. Mama, abanyaga bawano. Black Americans here. Oh, they bleach and then some. Bablichinga na beno. Don't look at them and think they bleach here. The black people here, they bleach too. Gamba, it is just, we have a problem with our natural skin tone. We just don't like who we are. The white man taught us that our problem is our skin tone. Never chawot you. Never chawot you. Even B, yeah, people complained about it. Beyonce, that wasn't her original color. If you started watching Beyonce from the beginning, that wasn't her color. Now she's almost white. I'd be looking at her and I'm like, the Creole in you is real. It's real. So we have people bleaching, we have girls getting butt injections, even when these big celebrities come out here and tell you, please don't get a BBL. You're like, I need that BBL. Then you get the BBL and still fail to get you a man or a sugar daddy. You're just out here with a big ass that is deformed. Then you have lip fillers, Botox, mufachi. Mulwanisa mugenda fa obubina tebagenda bubasalako babuwa balalanga mufudu mujja kufiira bwerere. If anything, you're shortening your lifespan. It's like a lifespan kenyina. I know I'm not meant to stay here forever, so I might as well try to stretch this shit out the longest I can. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mweru se badia. Abana mbaise mu Lukalolite ne lumekako. Namusanyula weddia naye sirabangako muzungu abazungu batono nnyo abagala okubeera abaddugavu batono. Like I saw Bad Barbie. If you follow pop culture, there's that girl called Bad Barbie, the one who was famous for the whole, Cash Me Outside, and they were saying, oh my goodness, there's a way they call it here, I've forgotten how they call it, about people trying to be black. But in my head, I'm like, why are black people mad at white people trying to be black? Yet every day, your own cousins, sisters, mothers are out here bleaching and trying to turn lighter to be white, but we don't see the white people being pissed off about it. Oh, but for us, we're like, oh, you're here messing with our culture. Like, nah. You lost the right to be angry as soon as your own people were bleaching. You lost the right to be angry. Let these white people do what they want to do because they have let you black people do what you want to do. It's that simple. Life is not so hard. When these white people come out here and they go turning, we're not mad at them. They turn. They need a turn because sometimes, they end up looking like Trump and they look like Cheetos. But tetubalinaako buzibu kubanga mmwe tebabalinaako buzibu. Bleach all you want. Like, can we just live harmoniously and agree that we all have our perfect flaws and our imperfections make us perfect? Yeah. Why you say dear? Tetubalinaako buzibu tujja tulanga tuseke. Why you say? Tetubalinaako buzibu. You give us a reason to look at life and say I was there. Neyo era na jirimu nga beyerusa kuba empiso mwana kuba empiso mwana n'omutunuulira n'ogamba changli ovaawa n'ogamba it is not changli oneerabidde. You're like gwani nze nakanjako twali naawe mu siniya fo n'ogamba okay, moving on, shall we? Anyway, but dear, it's been nice for all of you who still want to reach out to me. You're all very, very, I'm humbled that you took out the time on this Saturday to chill with me from wherever you're watching from. Thank you for being with us. We'll do this again next Saturday. And can you imagine, I came here and told myself I wanted to do a 20-minute live. I seriously wanted to do a 20 to 30 minutes live. Jesus is the Lord. I have done 113 minutes. Where? What is wrong with me? God damn. But anywho, it's been real. For all of you who want to reach out to me, I keep telling you, my DMs are open on all these platforms. You can always reach out to me in my DMs. I will definitely respond. If you have anything business related or for advertising, writing, or whatever it is, I do voiceovers and all of that. So if you want to reach out to me for business and business, strictly business, you can hit me up on 0754298325. Only WhatsApp. And when I say WhatsApp, I don't mean calls. Can we do that again? 0754 298325. Only if you want to talk business. Don't text me saying, how you doing? I just want to be your friend. I don't need none of that. I told you at the beginning of this episode, I said, I excuse myself from situations where I'm going to pretend that, yeah, I don't want to be here telling myself I'm a witch, I'm a witch, I'm a witch. No, I'm not doing that. I am not. So reach out to me if you have any business. And for all of you who have anything else you want to talk to me about, you can hit me up on my Facebook. It is always open in my DMs. You can hit me up on TikTok. You can hit me up on the comment section on my YouTube, or you can go to my Twitter. The DM is open. And a clarification for all of you, all my channels go under the same name. It's Tina Fierce One. That's it. Facebook, Tina Fierce One. Songera ko chilala, Tina Fierce One. My Instagram, Tina Fierce One. My Twitter, Tina Fierce One. My YouTube handle, Tina Fierce One. And then it's only on TikTok where it is randomthoughts.1. Tuli together. Tuli together, my dear. Okay. So it's about that time. I'm going to say bye to the YouTube people. Hey, wait. Na Facebook mwatandisa DMPCMB ezobutampa stars. Muitachi. You think I don't want stars? They might be cheap, but I want them. I don't see any stars anymore. I don't see any gifts. Muri awo just you're there watching, enjoying. Zemfunira mu wabadia. No stars. Muri awo muri kumpa ziraikisi. Ngenda kulia ziraikisi. Eh? I don't see the stars. I do not see the likes on YouTube. Murikuchi. I have 29 likes. I have 45. The math is not mathing. Can you math? Can you add it up? And if you're on any of these platforms, please do me a solid. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube, please go to my YouTube at Tina Fierce One. For all of you who are watching on this, go to my YouTube, like, subscribe if you want to. Anyway, I'm just saying. But I will see you all again next Saturday. It's been nice. I like catching off. Stars are off. What do you mean stars are off? Mbogomane likes economy otojira basira ba mama. Kamba veko kangende kuvecho yo badia. Mwezitira munnemye temugenda kumfeedinga. My stars are not able. My stars were able because you guys were sending me stars before. Anyway, I'll look into that later. I will look into that much later. For now, though, it's been nice. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. Peace. That is to my YouTube people.